Hello everyone and welcome to week 9 of Field. I feel like the time is going by so quickly, so I just wanted to check in with you guys and make sure things were going well. So please feel free to shoot me an email if you have any questions or concerns about Field. But I know not much is due this week outside of the case conceptualizations, and you guys are doing an amazing job with those. I should have all of those graded to you if you have presented thus far by this Thursday. So don't worry, I'm getting to them. They will be in by this week. So you guys are doing really great. I just wanted to send a reminder to make sure that for your case conceptualizations, whoever you have doing the role play, I mean, even if you don't really get a chance to see their face, you make sure that they consent to, you can have their permission to be in the video. So you want to make sure that they complete that and they just upload it. Cool. So you can feel free to use your field instructor if you like, or maybe, your spouse or your friend or whoever, as long as they consent to it. So the other thing that I wanted to go over is making sure that you have at least 5 peer-to-peer field discussions. If you haven't been doing them this now, it would be a perfect time to make sure that you're catching up on those so you have enough. I usually give you a grade towards the end of the semester for them because it's just usually easier to grade them all at once for me. So if you haven't received grades for those, so don't worry, they will be submitted to you at the end. The other thing about the case conceptualizations, just to go back for a minute, is to really think about your interventions that you're using. So if you're using cognitive behavioral therapy, and one of the interventions is exploring cognitive distortions and kind of deconstructing one's mindset to figure out, does this particular thing have some validity to it and what that looks like. So that's a time for you to really get descriptive about your interventions in your written summary. So if you don't necessarily have to say in your scenario that you're role playing that this is what I'm using, but I should be able to kind of see that. So you guys want to kind of make sure that it's very specific, but also very it stems from somewhere, and that's when you come from your 2 resources. So that was just an example. And then the other thing about the case conceptualizations is that you want to make sure that your written summary of your case summary is actually in a Word document, and it's 3 to 5 pages long, because you don't want to post it in your discussion board. You want to make sure it's in a written document because it has to be in an APA format and have headings and all of those types of things with the cover page and reference page. So it's easier for me to kind of go through and grade them if they're in a Word document. So I just wanted to give you that feedback if you haven't gone already and you haven't, posted the way that I'm asking. If you can just restructure that, that'd be awesome. Other than that, I really don't have much for you guys. I know what I want you to kind of brainstorm and think about is the termination that you guys will be facing with your clients. I think it's tough for us as clinicians, but also for the people that we're working with who may have let you into their lives on brand new levels for the very first time. And so kind of having that departure may bring up some pretty profound emotions around sadness and grief and just adjusting to change. So I want you guys to begin to talk with your field supervisor about ways to go effectively to go about termination. I think it can be one of the most challenging things for everyone involved. And I think one of the things that I will begin to go through more as the week approaches in week 11 to talk about some different approaches. One thing I find helpful, and it's tough for me because I do it often with little kids that in our emotional support classrooms that I run when staff leave. So I usually run a group, especially it's good if you do group therapy. I know some of you guys are doing groups, some of you guys are doing individual sessions, but when it's on a group level, I find it really powerful to kind of share out things that we've learned and that we will miss about that person in the circle. So, for example, we would all sit in a circle and we would just say, one thing I'll miss about Shaniqua is that she's always really loving and caring. And one thing I learned from her is that to really try my best even when I'm not feeling my best or when I feel like things are dwindling, to kind of give it one more chance. And I think that's so powerful because people are able to process the great things that they have learned from you, and that things that they can transfer in their day-to-day lives that may have some connection to you, whether you're still around or not. And so I think that's powerful, because we also teach our clients to process change and how to utilize their coping skills that we have been teaching them all along, and that us utilizing our own. So I think it's such a unique process, and it's usually done with finesse, because it is such a sensitive topic. So I just wanted you guys to begin to brainstorm some ideas, and so that when we get to week 11, you kind of will be prepared for that assignment. So we'll go over it more in deeper detail for week 10 when I post a video for then. But have a great week. You guys are doing an amazing job. If you are interested in going on for a live field discussion this Wednesday, let me know. All you have to do is shoot me an email and RSVP. I would love to have at least one live field session before the semester ends. So I know you guys are really busy. So I'm all yours on Wednesdays. All right. Have a great week, guys. Bye-bye.